Hello everyone and welcome back to another ScoreCEO tutorial video. My name is Jasmine, your ScoreCEO expert, and on today's training session we're going to be learning how you can send a credit audit report inside of ScoreCEO. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you're signed into your ScoreCEO portal, and then you're going to navigate to the leads and consumers area. Here you'll be able to find your leads and your customers. You can use the quick search to find your customer faster, or you can use the workflow settings or just kind of scroll through and find the person that you're going to be working on. So once you have located that person, you're going to click on their name. Once you're here, you're going to click on Credit Report. Now that you're here, we're going to see that we don't have a report here. You can either import it, or I'm just going to do a quick import, and I'm going to do a manual import since I don't have the credit monitoring saved here. But if you did have the credit monitoring saved here, you just have to click pull report, and you can definitely pull the report for that person. So I'm just going to go ahead and import my report. Now, once I have imported, I'm just going to go all the way to the bottom and I'm going to click confirm. This is just confirming that everything that was on the report, I wanted to show up inside of the customer's profile, also showing up in the credit audit report. So now that I have finished importing, I'm going to click on credit reports again, and we're going to see under our confirmed report, we're going to see that we have our graph here. So I'm just going to click on this graph, and that's going to take me right to the credit audit report. From here, this credit audit report, you can send it by click send report, and this will send it automatically to the customer. You can download it or you can save it into the documents. So that's how you can successfully send a credit audit report. But now let's go over what a credit report has available for you and what's the data that's in there. So now that you learned how to send a credit audit report, now let's go into showing you what's inside of that credit audit report. So I'm just going to click download report so I can save it and we can review the document. Okay, so here we find our credit audit report, and the great thing about this is that on page 2, it does tell us what is included in this credit audit and what it's broken down to. So here it's showing us that it's broken down into 6 sections, and it starts with what is a credit score, the customers or the lead score and summary, the analysis of the accounts, the credit repair process, the action plan, and the customer or the lead's part in the process. Okay, so that's great to know because there it's just going to give you a guide on what you're going to be discussing. So as you can see here, we're going to section A, which is basically what is a credit score. It's going to give them, what is a credit score? How is a credit score determined? So a lot of this stuff is probably something that you cover with them, but now you have a document that you can provide to them. And while you're in your consultation, you can start discussing this and educating them on what their credit score is and what components that credit score. This way, the customer, they know how to financially make correct decisions according on the way that credit scores are calculated. So here we can see basically all of the details, and it gives them graphic forms of, if someone that has good credit versus someone that has okay credit, what are the difference? What are the advantages of having good credit, and how you can save money when you have better credit. So it's going to give them those examples in a home base as in the auto. What are my savings or what are my costs by having a good credit score, right? Because again, if you don't have a decent credit score, you can't qualify. So this is basically just a recap of someone that has okay and good credit. If you have bad credit, you don't even fall in these ranges, right? So that just helps give them that understanding and some definitions of the credit score and how they can assess. And as you can see here, by ranges. So the good thing about this is if you have someone that is lower than 649, you can focus on this specific area and then say, if we get you to a 650 through 699, this is the what we're working with here. Now we have the second section, which is section B, which is basically their credit summary, their scores and their summary. So it's going to show them their credit score, the scaling of the scoring, and if it's a good score, if it's fair, if it's unfavorable, or if it's a really good score, you'll be able to see this here, and an average scoring. So this is something that you're going to present to them after you present what a score is, and then say, okay, this is the range that you fall into, this is what we have to work up to, right? So that's going to then show them below their negative accounts in total. So it's going to show them, okay, so this is the reason why your scoring is so low. Because you have a few charge-offs or collections. You have a total of 9 charge-offs or collections. You have a few late payments. You have 6 late payments. You have a few inquiries. So this is where you can start talking about what's potentially affecting their score that's causing it to be so low. Now we're going to take it down to the section that shows them the utilization ratio. Here is going to show them, their open revolving account balance towards their credit limit, right? And how much the utilization was used. This is very important because this is going to factor in what they need to do in order to help lower that utilization ratio. That will help boost up that credit score when that utilization ratio does go down. So here we'll see different examples of the utilization ratio and where the customer sits with them. Okay, so this is good, and then it gives them the legend of the utilization ratios. So here it's going to break it down, right? It's going to break it down for this customer, explain all those details to them. Then we break it down to section C, which is the analysis of their accounts. So it's going to show them the demographic information, which is basically the name variations, all the different name variations that it may have on the report, as well as addresses that could potentially be on the report. That not necessarily affects your credit score, but it's always good to clean up and have, correct data in there. Then it goes down to the negative accounts, and then public records and inquiries. Now we're going to take it down to the credit repair process. So here's basically just explaining how the credit repair process works. Then it talks about their part in the process, right? What you need from them. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial video on how you can send out the credit audit report and what the credit audit report entails. I'd recommend once you get it, read through it, go through the process, understand everything of this, and then start implementing it into your business. So thank you for tuning in.